Okay, friends, let's start the holistic lifestyle. Briefly, we'll go through and before ending the session. Right. Friends, so there is one topic we would like to share with you today on the part of holistic lifestyle, glucose in the body, physical body. Friends, first of all, glucose generated by plants. By what means the glucose will be generated by plants? Because of photosynthesis. For photosynthesis, what are the materials are used? What are the ingredients are used? The ingredients which are used for photosynthesis by plants is CO2, water, and especially the sun rays. Okay, these three are used for making all the whatever called glucose within the plant. So that glucose, so which is made up of using this photosynthesis especially. So this glucose is produced. Then what will happen? This glucose, whichever prepared inside the plant, will be produced and available to the all the human beings and so-called animals and birds. In which format? Like a food, fruits, vegetables, all these things, isn't it? So if you take a plant, what all the available? So a lot of you get a fiber component, proteins, carbohydrates. All these are actually prepared. All these are prepared and supplied you or all the live beings in the form of fruits, vegetables, and grains. All these things are available, isn't it? So these are all available. Those things only we are going to eat. Those things as the main input for us. So what will happen now? Human beings get the nutrients produced by plants in different forms. Grains, vegetables, fruits, pulses, oils, etc. Isn't it? These are the things we are going to take. But glucose is the end product of biochemical reactions in the digestive process of our body. After digestion, the food gets converted into glucose, enters the bloodstream. Glucose energy gets supplied throughout the body. Friends, what will happen is whatever you eat, all these things. One is the main course of food. For example, many people now they are used to eat what exactly? White rice and so-called the so-called wheat. These two are the totally two culprits. They are two culprits basically. You have to come out of that immediately from today itself. Why? The reason is the white rice and the wheat. They have lowest amount of fiber component. How much fiber component in white rice? It is zero point 0.2 grams out of 100 grams. Wheat is having 1.2 grams out of 100 grams. Okay, if you eat this kind of the food with the lowest fiber, so that digestion of that food will happen very fast. Within, I can tell you, within 20 to 30 minutes, max 1 hour. Within 1 hour, that will be digested, converted into the glucose. That glucose enters into the bloodstream. See, anything which is digested in the physical body, first of all, after the digestion, what is that which is produced is that is called energy. That energy is called glucose. This glucose will be absorbed into the so-called blood. So then through blood, this energy will be supplied to the all the organs of the body. So then only organs will start functioning. So that means for the functioning of all organs, what is required? Glucose. But how much is required? It has to be completely controlled way of supplying the glucose is very important for what purpose? In order to lead a healthy life. Then how much is the glucose required at any given point of time, friends? So we have 5 to 6 liters blood which is flowing through the physical body. We need 5 to 6 grams of only glucose. Only 5 to 6 grams of glucose. But is it really happening in the practical life? No. It's totally opposite is happening, which is excessive. How much excessive? Too much excessive we are taking because morning white rice, morning idli, dosha, all these things, chapati, there's also carbohydrates, no much fiber component, isn't it? Afternoon rice and then maybe the vegetables, all these things. So in vegetables, how much fiber will be there? Not so much fiber. Okay, you can't expect all the vegetables, fruits are actually basically almost like 90% water will be there. Okay, so that is why what happened, friends, the way the kind of foods what we are taking, we have to be so conscious. So that is why whenever you take these kind of foods, so the amount of glucose entering into the bloodstream will be so fast. It will be so fast. Then what will happen? That the excessive glucose will keep on entering into the blood. But are you going to use that kind of glucose? No, you can't use it. What is the reason? Because you are not doing physical work. You are doing most of the time sedentary life. It's all sitting and doing the works. Many people, you just observe the current generation, many of the software people or even the office goers, college student, everything, they sit and do more work. Then who will be able to digest this kind of amount of excessive glucose which comes into blood? The people like, laborers, masons, carpenters, these kind of people, they can digest. Even they eat more amount of white rice and all these things. They can digest, they won't get any disease. See, friends, any glucose which is more and more increased in the blood, what will happen is, if you are not able to utilize, let me tell you, if you walk for 15 minutes, what will happen? 1 gram of glucose will be burnt. Okay. If you have regularly, you will have 5 to 6 grams of blood, the glucose will be there in your blood. So if you run for a 75 minutes, that's why we need to walk for 75 minutes minimum. If you walk for 75 minutes, what happens? You get again hungry, because the 5 to 6 grams of glucose will be burnt. Okay, it will be consumed. Then you get fresh appetite, fresh hunger. So that happens like that. So that is why, so everyday walking is must. At the same time, friends, the excessive glucose, if you keep doing it, not only this, not only eating white rice and chapati. Again, what you do, you will go and eat the sweet, the sweets made up of sugar. Especially sugar is a slow poison. Sugar is the one which is going to give the excessive amount of glucose into the blood. Direct glucose into the blood. Even not even need to digest much. It directly jump into the bloodstream. So that means any sugar sweets, let me tell you, other than this, what will happen? Some people will be, even the educated and highly professional, they go and drink the Pepsi, Coca-Cola. One Pepsi, let me tell you, one Pepsi, if you drink, 45 grams of glucose enters into the bloodstream. Imagine 45 grams. When you burn all that, you can't burn it. Then what will happen? You become obesity. So especially the excessive glucose which is available in the bloodstream, then what will happen is the pancreas and liver that converts the excessive glucose into the what called glucogen packets, triglycerides, bad fats, like all the high cholesterol, like this it will convert. And where it will go on, paste into the arteries walls and blood veins, everywhere it will go on paste. So once it is gone paste, what happen? Your arteries and your blood veins will become thin. It becomes so thin. When they become so thin, what happen? The blood will not flow properly. When the blood will not flow properly, what happen? The blood pressure coming out of the pump, that is heart, will increase. That means high blood pressure disease starts. Then what will happen? The high blood pressure, diabetes, anyway, it will come. Because the diabetes means what? Excessive amount of the glucose or sugar within your blood, that is called diabetes. Type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes. So likewise, so many bad consequences are there. So be careful about all these things, friends. Okay. So that is why the glucose has to be controlled properly. Then what is the kind of food style we need to change? Let me tell you. So one thing is food style we have to change. The first and foremost thing is, try to introduce some, as a main course of food, try to introduce some of the things, some of the important things in your own food style. So what are those especially? That is millets, bajra, ragi, okay, bajra, ragi, millets, okay, and especially instead of sugar, thought like palm jaggery or otherwise dates jaggery. Go on, use these things. Okay, if you change these things at least, then what will happen? The glucose can be controlled very well. If you control the glucose very well, what happen? I told you many of the bad consequences, it will stop. Then you will be healthy. Otherwise, hundreds of diseases will come, my dear friends. Even excessive glucose, what happens, ultimately, your blood itself become acidic. Slowly, your blood itself will become acidic. When the blood becomes acidic, what happens? Definitely, the oxygen flow to the cells will become reduced. So when it reduces, what happens? The cells will die. When the cells die, what happens? It becomes a cancer. Right? So like this, friends, there's a lot of interconnectivity between one to other. So that is why we got to be very careful. Okay, we got to be careful and take care of this particular aspects of, getting more and more all the time, getting slow digestion. See, millets especially, I tell you, Siridhanya or millets. There are 5 type of millets are there. We will be knowing more about each and every millet in the future classes, friends. So that is going to give you the wonderful health, because, and let me tell you, in the millets will have minimum fiber component of at least 8 to 12 grams out of 100 grams of the grains. Then what happens if you eat that kind of food? The slow digestion happens. the slow release of the glucose. If it is slow release of glucose happens in the blood, what happens? We'll be keep using that slow all the time, 5 to 6 gram, 5 to 6 gram. It doesn't exceed. When it doesn't exceed, what happens? It doesn't exceed means it won't create any bad consequences, right? So that's how we need to go through, friends. So if you take care of these things, definitely, so you will be healthy all the time. So glucose, excessive glucose will not happen. Then you can lead a peaceful and happy and healthy life. Okay, please do this.